He's a world-class exercise specialist for training the disabled, and I have a great deal of respect for him. His videos have inspired millions of people around the world. He's been featured as a speaker on TED Talks. Please welcome the incredible Javeno McLean. You actually became a professional cricketer.
Cricket was my first love, but it wasn't my true love. It wasn't my true calling. I was always the best athlete. It got to a point where I didn't get much from it. I got much more satisfaction out of what I could do with other people. I was coaching a cricket session, Lee, when I was 16. There was a gentleman called Ishmael, rest in peace, who's passed away now. He wanted to play cricket, man. He wanted in. If you look at this man, he's desperate to play cricket, but because he's in his wheelchair, they left him. I was furiously. And for 2 hours, Lee, we played a cricket game, and I pushed Ishmael onto the pitch and I give him a cricket bat. And he said to me, it's the first time in 15 years that he's felt alive.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to the Labrada Show.
Brought to you by Lean Body, the #1 protein shake in gyms across America.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Labrada Show. If you enjoy our show today, would you please hit the like button below now and forward the show to one person. That's how we can continue to grow, and that's how I can keep bringing you the content that you can grow with. Today, I'm honored to be joined by a man whose energy, heart, and purpose are changing lives, not just in the gym, but in the community. He is the founder of J7 Health Center in Manchester, England, where he offers free personal training to individuals with disabilities and whose living conditions limit them. And so he's been featured as a speaker on TED Talks. He has a new book that is now available on Amazon called You Are Not Your Limits. He's a European champion powerlifter, and his videos have inspired millions of people around the world. He's a world-class exercise specialist for training the disabled, and I have a great deal of respect for him. Please welcome the incredible Javeno McLean. Javino, welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Lee. Oh, my brother, that was a great introduction. I like it.
All right.
That was tremendous.
Well, I could go on and on, my friend. Many, many accolades for you. Javino, let's start with your story, please, as our viewers are going to want to know more about you.
Yeah. Well, my story, Lee, is, my brother, I'm a quite simple person. My story is, I'm just a person who likes to make people feel seen, Lee, and valued. We live in a world where we're all connected as humans, man. You in Houston, me in Manchester, whether someone's black or white, whether someone's disabled, despite age or religion, we're all connected as humans, and it's just a shame those humans who are disabled and disadvantaged kind of get outcasted and thrown over there. And I just felt like my purpose is to bring some light, some happiness to them people. And I believe that's my gift, Lee.
Absolutely is. It is your gift. Let me go back just a little farther. Your first sport was cricket, right? In fact, you actually became a professional cricketer at one time. Tell us about that part of your life.
Cricket is the UK version of baseball. It's basically like baseball. Well, it's a wonderful sport, Lee, man. I was born in Jamaica, Lee, a wonderful island, man, and in the Caribbean. Cricket was our national sport. Cricket to Jamaica is what American football is to America, and it was all I ever wanted to do, Lee. And the best way to explain it, brother, is cricket was my first love. As a child, that's all I ever wanted to do. From 6 years old, I dedicated so many hours of my day just to being an athlete. But it wasn't my true love. It wasn't my true calling. As I got older, I realised that I got more joy, Lee, out of, please don't take this big-headed or boastfully, I was always the best athlete on my team. I was always the best athlete. It got to a point where I didn't get much from it. I got much more satisfaction out of what I could do with other people. And my life changed when I was 16, Lee. That's when I first trained my first disabled client, when I was 16. And I love telling this story, but it's a very tricky story to explain. Like, if you've got kids, Lee, have you got kids, Lee?
Yes, I have 3 grown boys.
grown boys, I'm assuming you couldn't put into words how much you love your kids. And even if somebody said, Lee, write down how much you love your kids, the words wouldn't do it justice.
That's right.
But you know it's the most powerful thing. And that's how I see my work. When I was 16, I had an incident that changed my life, and I didn't even know it at the time. I was coaching a cricket session, Lee, when I was 16, a group of young boys, and it was a beautiful summer's day. The birds were out, and it was summer, and it was just beautiful. And over there on the other side of the field, there was an Asian family that were playing cricket also. There was a gentleman called Ishmael, rest in peace, who's passed away now. And I couldn't take my eyes off this gentleman, Lee. And I was 16, man. I had no business to come over and intervene with anybody. And realistically, the family should have told me to go away, but I could not take my eyes off this man. Have you ever watched Wimbledon, Lee?
Yes.
Like tennis?
Of course.
And if you watch the crowd, Lee, as the ball's going from side to side, you see the crowd.
They're watching
doing
it.
this,
Back
and this
forth.
gentleman,
Yes.
he wanted to play cricket, man. He wanted in. And I was offended that his family didn't involve him. I was furiously. So I went over to the family and I said to him, who is this man? One person said it's my brother. One person said it's my uncle. It's this. And I said, how dare you not get him involved? If you look at this man, he's desperate to play cricket, but because he's in his wheelchair, they left him. So this is what I said. I said, we're going to play a big game. So I brought the family over to me, and I brought my young group of players. And for 2 hours, Lee, we played a cricket game, and I pushed Ishmael onto the pitch, and I give him a cricket bat. And I said, you're going to bat. I said, if you swing and miss, nothing happens. If you swing and you hit the ball, everybody does one press up or one burpee. Lee, for 2 hours, we had the greatest game. And it was amazing. And two things that came from that game was Ishmael spoke broken English. He didn't speak great English. And he said to me, it's the first time in 15 years that he's felt alive.
Oh my gosh.
And I always remember that. And his wife, Lee, his wife didn't speak a word of English. I'm a dad now, man. I've got two little boys, 10 and 3. And when you get that hug off your babies, words couldn't, you feel, no matter how big or strong you are, when my 3-year-old hugs me, it melts my soul. And this woman gave me a hug, Ishmael's wife.
That's
no
amazing.
words were spoken, but I knew exactly what that hug meant to her and her family.
You know what?
And that's when it started for me.
Your heart just impresses me. It just blows me away. You know how much love that you have inside of you for those that are disabled, and your desire to be inclusive with them. You know, and that at 16 years old, you're feeling that. Most 16-year-olds are oblivious. I mean, they're out there doing their thing and distracted, and yet you had it in your heart to identify him. You know, your fame has spread largely by word of mouth. I know that you were working with the Manchester City Council at one time, and you began exercise classes there. And I think I heard you mention in one of your stories a lady by the name of Brenda who lit the fuse that would encourage your journey. Would you tell us a little bit about Brenda?
Brenda's the queen. Brenda is, oh my God, that's my lady. That's my queen. She's here. She's coming here in 10 minutes to do a class. Oh. She's a lady that believed in me, Lee. We live in a world where, especially the male ego in the gym environment, you know what it's like. It can be very toxic.
Yes, I know what that's like.
And I trained Brenda. She was the first client that I trained. But I always remember something that Michael Jordan said. Michael Jordan said, every night he plays, there's going to be one kid that's the only time they're ever going to see Michael Jordan play, so he has to perform every single night just because that one kid may never see him play again. And I trained Brenda by herself for 3 months. Nobody turned up. I was differently. My way of personal training and training people wasn't to always show off my physique. It wasn't to show off my athletic ability. I wasn't trying to impress people like that. I was trying to touch people here and build relationships that last forever. Because I got sick of seeing the intimidation in gyms, especially for women. and people that are disadvantaged, the egos, the isolation in the gyms. So I wasn't trying to show off anything else. I was just trying to connect with this lady. And for 3 months, it was just me and Brenda. And after 3 months, she went and told somebody else, then somebody else. And before you know it, Lee, I had the busiest classes in the UK. This was able-bodied people, some disabled. I had the busiest classes in the UK. Every Tuesday afternoon, evening, 150 people would turn up. And that all came because Brenda believed in me and she passed on the word. Not one poster, no flyers. And I'm very grateful with this woman, because this woman's been through a hell of a journey herself, losing a husband and multiple hip surgeries and knee surgeries. But giving up is something that she will never do.
It's amazing how much heart they have. Now, did the Manchester Fitness Center lead to you opening the J7 Health Center?
Yeah, when I was at the council, Lee, I got in trouble quite a lot, man, because when I was 16, I've never took a penny off anybody disabled, Lee. I'm very proud of the fact that for 22, 23 years, I've trained disabled people for free.
It's amazing, bro.
And when I started working with the council doing certain exercise classes, I refused to take money off people. And they used to come in the office and they were charging a few pounds, maybe £3-4 per class. And able-bodied classes, I'll take the money. Disabled classes, I'm not doing it. And I used to get in quite a lot of trouble. And I made a promise to myself that I started when I was 16, until the day I'm in that box, until the day I'm in that ground, until the day I can't do this anymore. I refuse to take money off people, because look at this, Lee. We're from the gym environment. And I've seen so many trainers who are just liars. They will tell people that you've gotten stronger, you've gotten fitter, you've lost weight, just because they want them to pay more money for more sessions. And I always thought, if I'm going to help somebody from the purest part of my soul, there's no ATM machine, there's no checkbook, there's nothing. So if I want to help somebody who's terminally ill with cancer, if I want to help somebody who's got dementia, who's got cerebral palsy, who's got Down syndrome, I want to help that person because I want that person to just really enjoy life the way they should. If I take money off that person who's going through that terminal illness or going through that situation, that disability, I'm training you for financial gain. I want to train you because I want you to be my friend. I want you in 10, 15 years, your family to go, Javino helped so-and-so live longer. Javino helped us to smile again. Where if that's my mission, money can't come into that conversation, if that makes sense, Lee.
It makes perfect sense, brother. I admire that. Yeah. And that's your payoff. Javino, your impact on the lives of your clients it's evident. You know, you've been known to train up to 17 disabled individuals in a single day, which is just amazing. And your J7 Health Center has won the corporate Livewire Prestige Awards, the Community Gym of the Year, beating out over 21 other Manchester gyms. It's just incredible. I mean, when you look back on that, how do you feel?
I'm not impressed, Lee. I'm proud of myself. What I'm trying to work on, Lee, if I'm honest, brother, I'm trying to work on how to celebrate and kind of take things in. That's what I said to myself this year, but I'm not impressed, Lee. And what I mean by that, and I don't want that to sound bad for people, but what I mean is, when I stopped playing cricket, I got into, well, maybe about 8 years ago, really got into powerlifting. I just really enjoyed it for myself. And I didn't tell nobody, and I started training. And because I've always trained, I've always been very good at deadlifts and whatnot, just through sports conditioning. I qualified and represented Great Britain at the European Championships. I did great. I got a gold medal in the deadlift.
That's amazing.
I won the deadlift and I won the bench press. I wasn't impressed, Lee. I wasn't impressed because I didn't get inspiration off it, because I thought, okay, whatever's on that deadlifter, and everyone goes, yay, well done, great. For me, it was hard to get inspired and excited about that, because that same week, I had a woman who was terminally ill with cancer. It's the third time she thought she'd beat it. It came back, Lee. And she said, Jay, it's all good. She said, I've only got 2 months left, but guess what? In these next 2 months, I'm going to make a bucket list and I'm going to tick everything off that bucket list.
Wow.
And then guess what she said, Lee, to me? She said, next week, this was on Thursday. I'll never forget it. She came to me on Thursday and told me this. That she's only got 2 months left. But she said she's at peace with it. And she said, Jay, I'll see you on Monday. Let's get it.
Wow.
And I said, how can my 200, how can my deadlift that won a gold medal be as in, that's nowhere, I don't get inspiration off what I physically can and my athletic abilities. I'm more impressed with that lady. I'm more impressed with a lady who's, and this is real stories, I'm more impressed with clients that I train who have had severe strokes, who for 7 months work their tails off. They work so hard with me just to gain mobility of 2 or 3 inches in the hand. But we celebrate that 2 or 3 inches like it was the NFL Super Bowl because that's what it means to them and that's what it means to me.
I love it.
How can I be impressed with my bench press? How can I be impressed with my bench press that I won gold when there's a young lad who I train who's a wheelchair user, full-time wheelchair user. He'll never be able to play soccer. He'll never be able to run. But guess what? He took 2 steps and he stood up for 10 seconds, Lee.
Wow.
That to me impresses my soul and my emotions. That impresses me more than what I can physically do in the gym or what I've ever done as an athlete.
Brother, that's so inspirational. Dude, you have huge positive energy. You know, I saw your TED Talk that you gave in Manchester, and you described yourself as a bit loud and in your face. Do you think that this is a result of your passion for helping people?
100%, Lee. I refuse to... I want people to embrace being themselves. And again, I don't know whether I'm becoming a bit wiser now that I'm older. I'll turn 40 in January, but we live in a world, Lee, where I think the most powerful thing we can do is just truly be ourselves. Don't wear a mask. Don't pretend to be who anybody else wants you to be. And it's horrible that disabled people that are disadvantaged and ill, society makes them feel ugly. It makes them feel, society in the world, social media can make them feel unattractive. It can make them feel not worthy and not seen. And I think that is the most horrible thing for any human, to not feel seen. We all deserve to be seen and accepted for who we are. And guess what? If I have people like I have every single day that come in who are in the wheelchairs, who are embarrassed about the wheelchairs or embarrassed about the disability, I want you to showcase to the world how amazing you are and that a disability is just a part of you that the world's going to have to accept.
So what I'm hearing is that you have this huge passion to make sure that people are seen, that they're valued, they're appreciated. How do you bring these otherwise disabled people out of their shell? Or do you find that they're shy to begin with?
Very shy. But Lee, trust and belief is the most powerful thing in the world. Care. Genuine care. If you know somebody cares for you, there's no telling how, when you empower people, there's no telling how high you can go. When I get somebody that comes in who's very low in confidence, who I've got a lot of issues, the exercise isn't the important part. The most important part is the human connection and letting that person know that I'm here for them Monday through to Sunday, whenever they need. If you can get somebody to trust you, really trust you, because they know that I want the best for them. This isn't your typical PT where it's about 6 packs and booties and looking shredded. If they know that Javino really cares, they will go. And the most important thing is, Lee, is them knowing that we're a team. It's not about me. I'm not the star. I'm not the star of the show. A lot of PTs, especially in our industry, Lee, you know what it's like? In the gym world, people want to be, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, eyes on me. I think to be a great leader, Lee, you have to learn to take a step back and let other people be. I'm not the star of the show. I'm just the orchestrator. I'm the person making
100%.
the plays. But
Yes.
for me, a great leader sits back and lets the people shine. And I think when my guys know that that's the kind of guy that I am, and they trust me.
Hey, listen, you know more about leadership than most leaders that I've come across at companies. That's just amazing, which is to be a servant leader. You have said that real strength is when people look at the impossible and says, yes, I'm still going to give it a go. And you said that your purpose is to show people how to fight. How do you do that? How do you show people how to fight?
They have to know that they're worthy, Lee. People don't believe that they deserve to be happy. They don't. I see it every single day. People don't believe that they deserve to enjoy life like able-bodied people or people that they see in their day-to-day lives. So in order to people know how to fight, they need to know how much they are worth. And I'm from poverty, Lee. I was born in Jamaica. I wasn't born into richness. I came over to England when I was 6, so I've seen the worst of the worst when it comes to poverty. I've seen the worst of the worst when it comes to just lifestyle. And to me, everyone's got amazing attributes. Everyone's got fantastic characteristics and personality traits, but some people just don't find them. My job is to dig deep and find all that amazing and then shove it down their throats.
I love that.
Shove it down their throats to the point where they go, okay, I must be amazing.
Yes.
I must be beautiful.
Yes.
I must be strong because Jay's doing this.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
And it's not even, I will never lie to people. I will never lie to people about if they're strong or if they're resilient or if they're unbreakable. When I see it, I tell it. And I'll give you a great example. One of my girls, Lee, she's such a queen. She's so strong. She's one of the strongest humans, not little girls, not young women. She's one of the strongest humans I've ever seen in my life or been a part of. She didn't see it. And I only found out how strong she was after. You remember the Ariana Grande situation, the bombing in Manchester?
Yes.
She was in that situation with her mum in a wheelchair. She's got cerebral palsy and she thought she was going to die. It was a horrible time for her. She thought she was going to die. And when I found out what she did, I literally said to her, you're one of the strongest people I've ever met in my life. So when all the building and all the terrorist stuff was going on and she thought she was going to lose her life, she got into the lift, Lee. And as the lift doors about to close, she seen a young girl, maybe 7 or 8 years old, that was over on the other side, that was in need of desperate help. Her mother is a nurse, and she said to her mother, go and help that little girl. And mum said, I'm not leaving you. You're my baby, I'm not leaving you. Amy said, listen, I'm 23. If I die, I've lived my life. That young girl is 8 years old. Mum, I'm begging you, go and help that girl.
Wow.
What? Lee, you see what I'm saying? There's nothing that I can see in the gym that's more impressive than that. There's no amount of muscle. There's no amount of world record deadlift or bench press or shoulder press that is as strong as what that girl did. Saying to her mum, leave me. That's in God's hands. Go help that 7-year-old. It chokes me up, man, talking about it, Lee, and I didn't want to. That to me is a strength that. And so when I speak to that little girl and I feel like she doesn't know how amazing she is, and I look back and go, oh my God, you are unbelievable, and you don't even see it. Give me 2 weeks and I'm going to show you how amazing you are.
You know, I love that story, and I think we could all learn from that. You know, that true strength is the strength that comes from the heart. You know, you're in the business of showing people that they are not their limits. And you have a book. I want to talk a little bit about that. It's available on Amazon.com. It's a new book that's called You Are Not Your Limits. Let's talk about your book.
My book's it's a fantastic book, and it's about what really counts in life, Lee. That's what the book's about. It's about what really counts in life. It's about normality and normality. There's so much power in normality, and the smallest acts of inclusion can change someone's life, Lee. And that's what my work is about, just normality, giving people the most wonderful, amazing, normal experiences. Sometimes, an example being, if I've got a young boy who's in a wheelchair, but he loves football, he loves soccer, but he's got no use for his legs, I'll find a way for him to play soccer. I've got a girl who loves basketball, but she's not really got the mobility in her arms to shoot a basketball. I said, don't worry about it, babe. I will find a way for you to play basketball. Giving people them normal experiences are so important, and it's about just love and relentless love and care. And I think that's what the world needs right now. Just showing people that just how to love again. And Lee, it's not rocket science what I'm doing. I'm just treating people normal.
So it's about giving people some normalcy. I heard you describe it in your TED Talk as, that normal people take for granted their normalcy. But it's like a trampoline. If they want to go from here to there, they use their normalcy. But not everybody has that, And so you've made it a point to bring normalcy to a lot of these disabled people.
Yeah, definitely. And the book is kind of what I said before, Lee, where I didn't want it to be all about Javino. I'm the captain of the ship, but I want to showcase over the last 23 years the amazing stories and the wonderful people, the wonderful lessons that I've learned. That's what the book is about. The book's about gratitude, Lee. Gratitude and just...
something we could all use.
Just being grateful for... Yeah, and honest to God, Lee, I always encourage people to be around disadvantaged people, because guess what? You've probably heard it time and time again, even from your sons, even from my sons. People moan about certain things that we shouldn't be moaning about. There's people out there that have been given the worst start in life. The worst. There's people out there, Lee, that have been given... I met a girl two months ago, Lee. She's got a condition that's degenerative. She's 16. She will not see her 25th birthday. She won't see her 20th, and she knows this. But she said, Jay, I want to go to America. I want to go to the Grand Canyon. I want to go see Chelsea play against Tottenham. She's got a bucket list. She's not sad. She's not moaning. She's not complaining. She's just getting along with it, Lee.
Wow.
And then yet we have people that we come across every single day who moan about not having the right sneakers, not having the right amount of money in the bank, not having certain things in the house. There's some people that haven't got a house. There's some people that have never had sneakers. I train a girl every single week who's severely disabled with CP, cerebral palsy. Her feet are so different. I'm not going to say deformed. I don't like words like that. Her feet are so differently. She's 30 years old. She's never had a pair of shoes because there's no shoes that can actually go onto her feet. She doesn't moan. She just wears socks, and she appreciates that she's got lovely socks.
That's amazing.
When I'm around things like that every day, Lee, it humbles you as a man. It really does.
It does. And we're all guilty of that, at times, just bemoaning our conditions, and, something is making us uncomfortable. But when we really take a look at around us and take a look at how others do with much, much less, it's very humbling. Javino, you deal with these heartbreaking realities, death, disease, loss. How do you stay emotionally strong, and how do you recharge?
I don't stay. Lee, the amount of people that ask me this question, and I only answer it in the same way. I'm just learning on the job, brother.
God, what a great answer.
There's times where there's time, and I can't lie. I don't know the answer. I cry most weeks, but I've got an obligation to people. I feel like I'm hope. I'm confidence. I am a smile. I am honesty. I'm the face of that. I'm the body of that to a lot of people. So it's a privilege for me to be the person that people want to come to. If someone's terminally ill and they choose to come to me for their last few months, that's a blessing for me, and I take that. I will take that more than winning a gold medal at the Olympics, winning anything in cricket, anything in powerlifting. The fact that I've been chosen and that people keep choosing me, I'm honoured, Lee. I really am. So in that case, I will not let people down. You ain't gonna see me sad. Obviously, I do get sad and like anybody else, but I don't show that to any of my people, because guess what, Lee? Me or you, on our worst day, is paradise to somebody else. Me and you on our worst day is paradise to somebody else.
Absolutely.
Absolute paradise. So I've got no right to complain or moan. This is a privilege for me and it's an honor. So all I can do is, the greatest gift that I can give people, Lee, is to make sure that I show up, man. I'm just going to show up every single day for them, because I know that they need it more.
That's half the battle is showing up. Javino, I got to ask you, are there moments where you've questioned if you can keep going on?
Yeah, man. All the time, Lee. I don't question if I can go on, Lee. I've never questioned if I can go on. I question, my brother, I question life. That's what I question. This is a man that's been in the gym all my life, and there's certain conversations and people and stuff, but I question life, Lee, like all the time. And in my TED talk, I did speak about a lady who had breast cancer, and that's one of the moments. And I've had so many of them, but she's somebody that I was really close with, where I question life and how unfair life can be. This is a lady who had breast cancer, and she's a wonderful mother, Lee. Wonderful mother, just a real old school mum. Do you know what I mean? She used to come in the gym, and every time she came, she'd cook some rice or chicken, and she'd give everybody food, and she'd make sure that we was warm, or she'd come in and she'd see
God bless her.
the cushions on my sofa in the gym. When they got a bit dirty, she'll go on Amazon and she'll buy me new cushions and pillows, and she was just a real beautiful, wonderful lady who, in my opinion, was just living a really good, humbling life. How is it fair that she gets cancer, she gets terminal cancer, where there's people out there, Lee, that abuse their body? They smoke drugs and take drugs and live a really horrible life. The morals and the principles are non-existent. They're horrible people by nature. They're full of badness and evil. But yet this absolute queen of a woman, whose only purpose in life is to look after her daughters, and she gets cancer. And I know it's nothing that I can fix, and I know cancer is a lottery. Anybody can get it. But when something like that happens, you literally go, how is that fair? But how is that fair?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of times when I do question life, and but guess what, Lee? I can't fix life, but what I can do is fix the people in my life, the people that come to me who
That's right.
have got the short straw. I can try my best to make them forget, make them smile through some pain, and make them just feel really special while they're in my presence. And I think that's all I can do.
I think we can all emulate that, to try to positively affect and love those that are within our spheres of influence. Because I think a lot of times people say the world's broken, there's nothing I can do to save humanity. Well, we're not called to save humanity. We're called to work on those that are inside our sphere of influence, you know, and to love them and to help them. You know, Javino, your videos, we'll talk about that for a second. They've gone viral around the world. People, they cry, they laugh, they feel hope when they watch them. And guys, I would encourage you to go check out his Instagram channel and watch some of those videos, him working with these disabled people. Javino, do you feel that the high visibility has helped you to expand your outreach and your impact?
I don't. Can you say that question again, Lee?
Yes. Has the videos they've gone viral? The videos of you working with your disabled people, they've gone viral around the world. Has that helped you to expand your mission and the mission of J7 Health Center?
Of course, Lee. And I'll tell you what, my videos, I don't care, Lee. I literally don't care. And I did a speech last year for TikTok, and it was a bunch of people, Lee, and everyone had the pens out, and they were waiting for me to give a magic potion and a magical phrase of how to go viral on TikTok. And I said to him, I've not got it. All I do is press record and have the best experience in that moment. And if I capture something good or magical, I put it out there. And the reason why I think is very important is, like I said before, Lee, I'm shoving down people's throat all this positivity, how amazing they are, beautiful, strong, blah, blah, blah. They look at a lot of my guys look at me as big brother and like a father figure. And I remember when I was young, and if my dad said to me, "You're amazing," you kind of don't take it serious. Dad, when your kids were young and you were saying, "Oh, you're amazing," they kind of go, "Yeah, Dad, you're supposed to say that, Dad. You're my dad." They don't take it serious. So if I'm saying to somebody, "You're amazing, you're so strong, you're this, you're that," eventually, Lee, they look at me and go, yeah, whatever. But then, if we post a video, and then you've got 10,000 likes, and then you got Lee Labrada in Houston saying, "You're amazing." Then you got Javeno McLean in Manchester saying, "You're amazing." And you got so-and-so in Australia saying it, and then somebody in Africa and Germany, and I can go, and then they come into the gym, Lee, and they go, "Oh my God, did you see the amount of comments that we got, Jay? So 100 people said that I was beautiful. 100 people said I was strong." I can just sit back and go, "Yep, I told you so." And that's what I love about social media. If you do something positive like I'm doing, and people around the world embrace it, it just spreads love. It just spreads care. And the most important thing, Lee, there's other people in wheelchairs. There's 1 million young kids in wheelchairs. There's 1 million young kids with cerebral palsy or Down syndrome. There's 1 million people fighting cancer, dementia, stroke survivors. I get messages, thousands of messages from people around the world who are fighting all of those elements, and they go, "You know what? I've seen your video. I can do more today. I can be a bit more active today." And I think
that gets everybody involved. That gets it gives us all something to shoot for, to spread that love in our own communities. If someone is listening or watching right now and wants to support your mission, Javino, what's the best way?
The best way to support my mission, Lee, is if you watch anything that I ever put out and you can resonate with it, if you can, like, take out the disability, just keep it as the human element. If you watch anything that I ever do and you can resonate with it and you can connect with it and it brings you any kind of joy, any kind of reminder of gratitude, I'm begging you just to pass it on. Pass it on in some way. You don't have to show anybody my videos. You don't have to tell anybody my name. Just whatever you get from my work, just pass it on. And if everybody does that, Lee, a whole community can instantly be influenced, and people can start smiling again.
I love that.
That's one thing with my work.
I love that.
it baffles me, Lee, the amount of people that have forgotten how to smile because they've not been given a reason to smile for so long, and hopefully my work can do that.
Yes, sir. Javino, thank you. Thank you so much for not just being a trainer, but someone who helps the disabled and the disadvantaged. You are
Thank you, sir.
a force of light in this world, and you remind us, including myself, that power is not in the muscles, it's in love, service, and respect. And keep doing what you're doing, my brother. We're all watching and learning. You're absolutely inspirational. If someone wants to follow you on social media, where should they go, and what is your website?
Yeah, guys, I'm on TikTok. Can't remember what my name is. What's my name? I think I'm Javino. If you just type in Javino on TikTok or Instagram, guys, follow, like, share. And Lee, my brother, I've been a fan of your work for a long time.
Thank you.
I told you before off camera, as soon as I got the message, there was no hesitation. I said, if I'm going to sit with Lee, I'm going to sit with Lee. And I appreciate you contacting me, and I appreciate this conversation, and I appreciate you listening to me, Lee. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, my brother. And keep doing the great work that you're doing. You're inspiring all of us. God bless you. Hey, guys, help us to grow the Lee Labrada Show by sharing this podcast with just one other person. Would you do it now? And be sure to hit the subscribe button below. Leave your comments and feedback. Also, wanted to let you know that you can listen on Spotify. All right, you guys, stay motivated, look up, get up. God bless you.
The Lee Labrada Show.
Voices in my head imprison me. Wanna hold me down, but I'm on board. You're the light that's cutting through my pain. You're moving me, oh Lord. I just wanna change.